Bend the knee.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Don Woolley coming back at you again with another character. This time, mystery character. Before I get into who it actually is, I'm going to give you some background on that character. Now, this is someone who died in season one and book one of Game of Thrones, and their death caused a major impact on another major character in the story. This was a powerful general and leader, someone who had fought many battles and actually never lost. Without further ado, Khal Drogo. Yeah, so Khal Drogo, we know him as the leader of the Dothraki, pretty much. Um, Daenerys's husband uh, and kind of consort. He's described by her brother at least as being a savage. We know Viserys didn't have any love for the Dothraki. They weren't his people. He had no kind of fondness or reverence for them. But Daenerys grew to love the Dothraki people and as well as Khal Drogo, even though at first she never wanted to be married to him. And she was eventually supposed to have his child, which she named Rhaego, even though he died during childbirth. She was kind of forced to take his life because she was tricked by Miri Mazdor, who was, I'm not sure if she was a Shadowbinder, but she was some sort of priestess from the Shire who studied, the dark arts and all that. And because of what happened with, the goings on with Viserys and the Iron Throne and the like, you know, Khal Drogo was actually ready to march to Westeros after the attempt on Daenerys' life. Before that, he didn't really care. He was like, look, I got you. We're married. I run the whole Dothraki Sea. We can go around just kind of raiding places and not really having to worry about any opposition because, I'm the strongest cow there is right now, and our son is going to be the stallion who mounts the world. So hey, don't worry about the Iron Throne thing. Forget about that. That's not even it's not even a question. But then uh, after Robert and his cohorts decided that they wanted to try and assassinate Daenerys while she was pregnant, Khal Drogo decided he was going to march and go take the Iron Throne. So now we don't know much about Khal Drogo's life before this. We know that his father was a great Khal, had blood riders. We know that Khal Drogo was a great warrior who was never defeated in battle, single combat, or I believe even in any kind of skirmishes that may have happened while he was raiding, the trade routes along the Dothraki Sea and maybe even the outlying cities that surround the Dothraki Sea area. And again, while Daenerys was hesitant to marry him at first because that wasn't Targaryen tradition, but it also wasn't what she wanted to do because she thought she was going to marry Viserys because that was kind of the way that things had always been done. She grew to love him and respect him, and go out of her way to adopt Dothraki customs because of being around Khal Drogo and also the other Dothraki as well. So, it's funny. Here was somebody who was purported to be a great warrior, but yet he died from a single infected cut. And in the show versus the book, it's different. In the show, the cut just kind of gets infected, and it kind of lingers on, and he dies. In the book, it's a little bit more intricate. Mary Masdor actually tells him he cannot drink, while he's doing the healing process, because that will basically counteract her measures, which would heal him and bring him back to health. And he's like, "Hey, yeah, whatever, woman. I don't need to listen to you. I'm going to drink as much as I want. I'm Khal Drogo." So, unfortunately, he paid the consequence for it. Now, after the whole ritual to bring him back to life, Mary Masdor kills his horse. He's doing the blood magic sacrifice and all that. He comes back as a shell of a man, no kind of conscience. And, essentially Daenerys is like, well, I can't let him exist like this, because what he's doing is not living, it's just basically existing. So she decides to put him out of his misery and, buries him. Well, not buries him, but, puts him on a pyre, and supposedly sends him off to the Nightlands to ride with his ancestors. Um, Other than the vision from House of the Undying and the TV show, we actually do not see any more of Khal Drogo. And, as time goes on, we get fewer and fewer references. But his influence on Daenerys reverberated because, she got much of her strength of character and leadership from being around him. So, there was a good thing. It wasn't the greatest situation for her to be involved with at first, but it did wind up being a good thing later on. So, hats off to Khal Drogo for helping to make this character a very powerful and strong person. And, rest in peace. Unfortunately, you were not the one and only that most people probably would have thought you would have been. I thought he was going to be around a lot longer. I was actually surprised when they killed him off. So, yeah, anyway, you guys already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. I'm going to be starting my next round of videos, which are going to be talking more about theories, different organizations that exist within A Song of Ice and Fire, and general thoughts about episodes, uh, and just more background stuff about houses as opposed to singular characters. But I will do more character profiles, especially if you guys request any character profiles. But that's been my time. Don Willie, I'm out.